commission, these last at least 4 months, have mostly taken time to do damage control. So for First Service to tell us, the membership, what to do, it's not really their job to do that. We as members have to take responsibility to make sure that our board of directors is doing what is right and appropriate. And part of my job as secretary, and I did read it into the minutes, is that I'm supposed to inform the board of certain legalities. And I believe I have done that. There is more that I wanted to inform them of tonight, but they're not here.
Okay,
Am I right?
You're right.
Okay, so basically it comes back to this group right here. We must generate what we want First Service to do and what we want the board to do.
Yes.
Am I hearing that correctly?
Yes.
How do we do that?
We need to get the board to listen to us.
No, that's not gonna happen. It's not even real.
We'll
Realistically,
need a
it's
new
not gonna
board.
can't happen until next month.
Have a town hall, have another town hall, and have people bring their problems and their answers up so we can discuss it.
And what we've been doing.
That's right, have another one with the.
They'll probably have another call too.
They won't show
Well,
up.
I'm
Because
sure
if
we'll have
they
another
show
call,
up,
I would
if
hope.
we as an association start getting together what we want,
Yeah, but
somebody's gonna have to listen.
But it'll be the same too,
Yeah.
rather than a quorum.
Well, Billy had a good suggestion, and his suggestion was either through the board of directors email, which Jan and I both now receive, you make your concerns known. And maybe you make your concerns known one at a time, so that every day the board is getting information from the membership in regard to what they want to see, what they want for their community. There are lots of issues to address. So if each one of you did this, it would be quite overwhelming. And I believe the board would have to listen.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is each person must send an email to the board of directors. And then we, as members, are going to require them to respond each item on a separate sheet of paper so they can do one and not the other, should they choose to do so. And come up with a yay or nay or what they're going to do to fix it. And Mike, Art, in the
Yes.
back there, would that work?
Sure.
You were present.
I can tell you it'd be pretty darn overwhelming. And right now, what's happening is lots of damage control. But what else can you do? You can try telephoning. People have caller ID now. They may or may not pick up. Maybe what we need to do is brainstorm a little bit. What can be done? What can we do?
Recall.
Remove them.
Recall.
That takes, first of all, everybody, you know, we wanna mail something out, it's what, $4,500 to mail something out?
I know.
If you want to mail something out, you can walk around and get signatures.
Well,
I mean, if everybody in this room got 10 signatures, that's gonna be a heck of a lot. If everybody in this room got 20 signatures, guess what? People out of a job.
The problem is, that's gonna take 8 months to a year. We have serious, potentially legal issues coming up that they're gonna cost the association money.
If those 3 people don't show up, it doesn't matter how long you say it's gonna take, because they're gonna keep pushing this down the road. They have failed to respond over and over, time and time again.
And they failed
We
to
need to
show.
figure out what we're gonna do now, not, oh, well, I think that this is gonna work, or maybe we should. Those 3 people right there are failing to comply with the duties that they're responsible for taking care of. We should not have to fix their problems. They should be gone. That is our #1 concern, is the livelihood of the organization. We have to take care of ourselves. Right now, I can't worry about the 5 ant piles in my backyard because I don't know what's gonna happen in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
They're here.
And not only that, we have a board member, Ryan Miller, who won't even answer emails and won't even answer the telephone.
And has
Really,
not
is that
been to the
what
last
he said?
3-4 meetings
Well,
in
wait a
person.
minute. I thought that after 3 meetings that they don't attend, they're automatically off the board. That's what they did with the gentleman that was sick.
No, actually, he resigned.
I'm sorry,
He
what?
resigned.
He resigned.
He resigned, but after 3 board meetings, I thought there was a
The
ruling.
board, after 3 boarding meetings, the board may remove a member.
You guys,
We need a majority of the remaining board. Yeah, because it'd be 2 to 2 to remove 1 member. However, if somebody else, I don't have the time, but if somebody or a group of people wanna look at it, I would propose 500 signatures petitioning for a special membership meeting. That exceeds the 10% required by state statute 720. That whatever you want to put on it as an agenda, but obviously if you want one agenda item to be removing 1, 2, or 3 board members, once that is turned in, the secretary must send it out to everybody. Yeah, it's gonna cost us $5,000, $4,700, but the board cannot nix it. If the lawyer says that's not enough, fine, we say it is enough, let's go to court and let a judge decide, because I truly believe that our covenants are vague enough on that particular item and clear enough on other items where it does say needs 51% of the entire membership. See, it's clear in those areas. That same wording is not used on the association members calling a board meeting, that we go to state statute and let a judge, if a judge tells us no, then it's no. But up until that point, now again, once that's sent out, of the people that respond either by proxy or in person, it requires 2/3 to remove a board member. But that's just the people that respond, So if we only get 1,000 people responding, like we oftentimes do, or less for annual elections, it just requires 2/3.
I'm pretty sure that we did a petition right now. I just asked the gentleman here how long they've been working. They got 3 weeks and got 400 signatures. There's a lot more people in this room that can get signatures a lot faster.
Yeah, I'd have to recheck the reading, but upon the receipt of 500, 10% plus of valid, they have to take some extras in case some people get thrown out. Valid signatures petitioning for a special meeting with this being on the agenda, that once that's received, I believe the special meeting must be scheduled within 30 days or something like that.
60.
It must be scheduled within 60 days because it requires mail notification of the proxies and stuff at least 14 days ahead.
But we can turn around a mailing in 24 hours. We have the technology.
Yeah. Oh,
We're a little motivated.
That's another thing that First Service brings to us. We used to have to do the mailings by hand in-house.
With volunteers.
With the entire staff, if you were a lifeguard, you were in here folding stuff and stuffing envelopes.
And volunteers.
And volunteers. Yeah, I was in once. I guess you've been in once doing that. That's all automated. Part of the fee we pay First Service. Another thing is we lose First Service. We lose our accounting program. That's proprietary, I think. I'm pretty sure. Proprietary. It's an accounting program designed for associations. I've been looking at the monthly financials for the past year. They are so much better than the Band-Aid and baling wire and duct tape accounting program we had put together in-house using QuickBooks or Quicken or something, which is not designed for this kind of stuff. Because we're using that accounting software and who we're using to do our annual audit, we got like a 20% discount on the cost of audit. $3,000 off of what's usually a $18,000, $20,000 audit. We don't have that accounting program that the auditors can communicate with. We're going to have an increase of $3,000 to $5,000 in cost to our annual audit at a minimum. That's just 1 month of their fee.
Nothing happens unless somebody starts it. So I guess I'll start it. Pete, you wanna help me with the wording on that petition?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, I'm looking at a Larry Fay, Flintwood Street. Special meetings. A special meeting of the directors may be called by the president, must be called by the secretary at a written request of 1/3 of the directors.
That's a board meeting.
That's a board
It's a
meeting.
board meeting.
That's a board meeting, that's not a membership meeting.
So it's not, so I don't understand what the difference between a special meeting is and this special meeting.
Well, it's a membership meeting.
Yeah,
Not a
we
board.
we
Not a board
have
meeting.
currently generally one membership meeting a year.
Okay.
The one in July,
Right.
when we have the ballots to vote in directors and that kind of stuff. All the other meetings are board meetings. Members can't call a meeting of the board.
Okay?
Only the board can call a meeting of the board, whether it's the president or a majority of the board or whatever it says in there. Now, we're talking about a membership meeting, which would be required for a recall vote on one or more board members.
Back to my original question. Would you help me write that petition?
I'll help you write the wording.
I don't ask you to do anything else except write the petition, okay? That's step number one.
Okay.
Okay, step number two. If I call you, how many of you people are gonna actually go out and knock on doors to get 500 votes?
I'll give you my name right now.
I got plenty of names and phone numbers. I just want you to know if you sign one of these petitions, I'm likely to call you. Okay? I'm gonna say I need you to sign another one. Does anybody in this room have a problem with that?
Can I
Okay.
use your desk, please?
Then you can consider this process started. John?
Here, please put your name and phone number on this sheet.
I would just say too, that a way to get
Print
signatures
legibly.
better than going door to
Yes,
door
sir.
is to stand right here at the entrance. And when people come through, if you talk to them, and I say this because I've done it, that they know what's on Facebook, what's in the newspaper, and a lot of the comments that their neighbors are talking about.
I'll have to wait my
You'd be
turn.
surprised at how many signatures you can get simply by standing at the door.
And he's saying he'll get the
Might as well.
word out in the paper. So they gotta get the wording.
To make sure they're valid, we need to make sure it's only one for
I know how to
property and no residential, but I'm not sure if
I understand that. Trust me, if I ask you to sign this petition, the petition will be legal. And the numbers, the names, everything will be checked.
But what I'm saying is the people that are
Somebody's asking around.
and the people that are signing need to make sure that like Sarah signed.
When we send it out, we will send out a fact sheet like we did with the last one that tells you exactly what the purpose
Okay,
is.
ladies and gentlemen, we have somebody at the podium.
Okay, I'm back up here because we just went off on a different course than I think is more expedient. You're looking at how many days to get a meeting? 60? After you have
No, within, up to.
60 days
After we have the signatures.
after we have the signature. So let's say it takes 2 weeks to get the signature, so we're looking at 45 days. Meanwhile, we have First Service not sure what they're doing.
Yes, they
They
are.
are.
They're staying. They're staying.
Depends. The board comes back, says they're going, they're going.
Until they get legal documentation.
Then they have another 60 days.
They didn't terminate the contract properly.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I just say something? I'm sorry, I just got informed of something that kind of really pisses me off again. Notice this gentleman in uniform can't say anything, he can't speak for himself because he is in uniform. He's here to get a variance approved. Isn't it nice that he had to take hours off from work to be here, not getting paid for it, because our board decided it didn't want to show up, or part of our board didn't show up.
Okay, my comment is,
Sorry.
that's okay. We had kind of an agreement that we have to press on. We have to press on for at least until you do all this petition stuff, and that's fine, it has to be done. But meanwhile, things have to be run. Apparently, First Service needs to have guidance from the members we still need to do that part of this process, and that is everybody sending in their personal concern to the board, and they are required to respond within 60 days.
No, the board's not required to respond to an email, they should, but they're not required to.
So how do we, in other words, if we send in 20 requests to have things looked into by the board, they don't have to respond?
I'm sorry, sir, the board is not here.
No, we have to.
They don't have to do anything.
I understand, but if we don't get some information to First Service as to what is really supposed to happen, even when the board decides to do whatever they're doing, either the transfer is not gonna occur very smoothly, or if First Service stays, they're not gonna know what the new rules are as to what they need to do. Hence, there's a negotiation process that also requires the board to do something. But meanwhile, yes, sir.
They have a very specific contract that tells them exactly what they're supposed to do. They know what to do. They don't need any guidance from us as to what to do. The problem we have right now is we have a runaway board that has decided without any kind of notice to the people that they would go ahead and replace these people and maybe come up with something else afterwards. That's where we are right now. They have very specific jobs. They know what to do. We don't have to send them emails telling them to turn the lights on or pay the taxes or anything like that. They know exactly what they have to do. The problem that we have is we have a board president that wants to get rid of them, has done it incorrectly, and now we're sitting here saying, what do we do next? First Services is saying very simply, until they kick us out, we're going to do our job. That's what's happening right now. Okay? The other issue is, the only way to get their attention, emails, trust me, emails aren't going to affect those people whatsoever. They don't even answer them. Phone calls don't affect them. If you go anywhere near their house, Ryan's wife will go crazy. Okay? That isn't going to work. The thing that's going to work is if they actually think that this group of people will throw them out. Period.
You don't believe any input should be made as to what, obviously.
What other input are you going to give 3 people that don't show up, and when they do show up, they vote their own agenda? They don't even ask the other 2 people what they want. What kind of input do people like that listen to?
Well, Jan, there is one point though. If any fiduciary stuff comes up, meaning expenditures, First Service is not allowed to authorize it. So we'll still take a board vote, unfortunately, if we have to put monies up for some reason.
Like a mailing.
Well,
A mailing, yes. Anything
I don't know,
that
they,
costs money.
I don't know, First Services may have volunteered their services in the past. They might volunteer their services to fill out a mailing themselves. But you never know, things can happen. It might be a little lucrative for them.
Additionally, you should know that I have some serious concerns about correcting the erosion problem that we have in the back. And my concerns are that it's gonna cost us a lot of money. A lot of money. I'm not even good at guessing. Maybe somebody in the audience could guess. We're gonna have to pay an engineer. The engineer is gonna be required by Florida Department of Environmental Protection to produce certain kinds of drawings, all of which cost money. Those drawings are produced, then we have to pay for those, whatever the drawings are. Then we have to pay for the work that needs to be done, and then we have to pay for the materials. Anybody want to hazard a guess how much it might cost?
I can tell you exactly how much it costs, but if you let me know exactly what y'all need done, I could probably help y'all get it done a lot cheaper than what y'all would be paying.
Well, part of the problem with that is now we're in trouble with the county and the Florida DEP, and they're gonna be telling us whether or not our plans from an engineer meet their requirements. And all of that's gonna cost us money.
Are you an engineer?
I know engineers. Well, regardless, I mean, we need to, if we're going to be talking with the engineer, we need to know that he's capable of providing exactly what we need, or he's not gonna get paid.
They selected an engineer last week, didn't they? When I was being told, that point is passed.
Also, did they meet with the, environmental people?
Yes, it is.
I know, but I can't fix it.
Well, we did get today an email with the minutes for DEP, and I think that's gonna be posted, isn't it?
It is posted already.
There's something on the Facebook page with the minute from the DEP.
And that was Alex Crawford, the engineer, and who?
Alex Cranberry was there.
Rebecca.
The document that's in your.
And that has to, regardless of what happens, that has to keep moving or they will get upset.
Right.
I'm sorry to bring this up again, but there's no business being done because one member is sick and two, can I say puppets? I don't know if I'm allowed to say puppets, are not here. Okay? I mean, the right hand and the left hand didn't show up because the brains isn't here. So we have, as members, we have got to take the responsibility and take action because if this is how they're going to not do business, we need business done. And you're bringing up a perfect point. The only way to do that is to make things happen. We're going to have to knock on doors and get neighbors. And you know what? If you get 2,000 or 3,000 signatures, it's done. I don't want to stop at 500. Done. Out.
Okay, so the only...
Because there was scheduled to be business done tonight, sir. There was business to be done. People are here. We all adjusted our schedules, and these three, one sick, two don't know why, are not here. They are using force to keep us from this association from doing business. We have to use force by law to remove them from their positions.
It only required one of the three to show up to have a quorum.
And that's why there's not one here.
That's why they did.
That's why there's no.
Exactly.
You know.
That would be my logical guess is that they're not here because they would be afraid that two people that are using their heads would say, oh, we can go ahead and vote somebody out of a position on the board. Or we can get things done, or we can change, we can stop the first services from being fired.
Well, we need to let Bill Crouch know that somebody will give him a ride also. Because at the last board meeting, when Alex Crawford stated that she had to leave, he had to leave too because he was riding with her. So maybe he was supposed to ride with her tonight, I don't know.
Okay, all I'm trying to do,
Don't you dare.
I'm just the property owner. But all I'm trying to do is to find out, are there three things we can do or just one? And I'm hearing from this man over here that there's one. In other words, does this no good to input problems because nobody's going to respond to them, maybe. There's got to be another meeting held. What, can we somehow make that happen?
The board president can call another meeting. I believe it's the board president calls the meetings. Board president can call another meeting with how much notice?
48 hours.
48 hours notice, and they can do it at any time of the day or night.
The next thing, ladies and gentlemen, will be that the board president calls a special meeting so that we can complete the business that was to be done tonight.
I thought only one thing on the special meeting.
No, I don't.
You can
No,
move it
that's a
on anything
membership
on the
special
agenda.
meeting.
I thought it was one
No.
thing.
That's a membership special meeting.
That's a
You're
membership.
confusing the two
Oh,
special
okay.
meetings.
All right.
Board special meeting is whatever's on the agenda. But for special meeting, I believe you're not supposed to amend.
No, you can't amend it, and it's gotta be specific on what you're going to be doing.
Right. And you can't amend it. it's on the agenda, it's on, it can't be removed. it
In
can't
other
be
words,
added.
if it's on the agenda for first service to remain, she can't remove it.
If that's a discussion and vote.
Right.
So be vigilant. I do want to ask Madam Secretary, I like the television show too, there will be an official record of the lack of attendance of the board tonight for association records. Thank you.
Anybody else, or is it time to adjourn this,
We never convened it.
The non-meeting.
town hall meeting? Thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you.
If we come, we need to.
Yeah, you're welcome.